terrific, terrific, terrific. The time is I will I got while I know if I have what time I agree to take this other time I want to have made time. This is the time I have that I want not to suggest it. Just to priority address interest I have. What it is I have for myself I talk while speaking. It's correct. Reasons that reach a statement correctly. So I don't become added to a position that can make the sleep I feel disrespect me. At this point, I'm not going to aggress this statement to make my time leave. I left my time when my time left to make my moment of time is just not a repeat time to say anything. I don't know what can be or what can happen and what would. I know what happened is what I did do about what can't do, what makes it well for it to be good. But what I have to me to make this condition what makes this mistake this time, I don't got nothing that can prove ahead of time to just make it smart that even with the phone, there's other things that can be about now coming that can't be so smart. So it's not a gift of time. It's not a requiem of time. It's not a place you can have that I would see that makes a mistake a right time for a nice day. What I had, what I want, what I know, what it can be that it can continue to be smart. Even if things that are smart are not. I felt as though what I have here, with the time, I don't even know to come from. But base plans that can't get me smart, I'm going to be smart about how smart it's going to be. If it ever is that way, again, to me, while it's going to be correct for me to be, if that could be saved time manageably, opportune, prioritized by what my authority is, it just doesn't make a time and statement that I have made. I told you I use my phone, right? It was cool to do that while it is that I had my phone to use. So it making me so apart. What can't get to be energetic is that my time. My time for me, it's not making a kind state a reason to be a relevant position to really act under a position that is a relevant statement that can be conditionable. Conditionable. Even in and out. Even with the states of what I want to have. What I have by this time. is that I have to understand that what it is comfortable. Is that I had things comfortably placed, which is nothing that I want not to be placed better. It's in a state. It's in a state of what I want it to be. Actually, as any of these things could come to be, one could be because of what I said. It's only a telephone I use on the phone that I have in the phone. That's what I like to do it. So I have to tell you personally, for this time, that I don't want two things to come from a nice day. A nice day is for me to say I don't have many things that can come to address a confident complaint about what can't be so confident. It's just to require what it is that I know about me. Is that what it is I am and who it is I am while I'm awake still here. So it's not probably or probability to reintroduce what I have with my utility. It's just in my access I had to myself to see what this complaint, where I was for. Because this is not a position for children. This is an opposition for adults that don't propagate me. They don't stop the wait with. There's an instant time that just do also have just disappointment. What these words are, it's nice that I feel as though they can be, but they can't be smart where the things that don't make appropriate appointments nice. If I had started to talk about what it is that could be the beginning of these, a nice time, it's only one more statement I made for the end of this, a nice day. I don't gotta serve a servant time, a severe time, a severally located time. I don't got time for that. I don't have time to approach what it is I feel as though that any time could position what Facebook accounts could be to make a time a state. It's just for now at this point in time, I have that this is an occasion, and by way of this occasion, I won't place it. Well, I always place it occasion, but right where it started being here. And you don't know about my face. You don't know that. Even in this time, I had times to be confused. It always times I like to do. What I do. All the time I want to do it. No. This time I like. Also time here. Getting right, so probably smarter time here. Cool for now. Cool is being cool too. Life, lot, and the world can get without time with regarded seasons I want also have. Regarded seasons I'm going to also have, and this smart appendages, only a friendship I have at time. Anybody I thought I'm going to also have. You see Saul, so smart. You see a small day of luck. You saw a day. It wasn't going to be today. It was tomorrow with a park. Tomorrow in a park. Tomorrow Bonaparte. It don't make me become the interested. Reach with the consolidated issue. It's in consolidated education where I want to pronounce about what it is I have with my true speech. They can't have what can be positioned, defeated to make my purpose accommodate while it is I have myself what you had and what you taught, where you could be if you wanted you to be who you could be, if you truly tried to be terrific. Isn't to be terrific girl. It's to take where the apparition is to position an app that can be used if located. While it's using what's located, was used, it was located. I know different things. And I know two more reasons. And I know anybody who knows what it can be. A critical time to forgive what it is in the mind that won't let a person just live where they had it to be, where they could have been, and then become what they could do when this becomes a time in which you have it, what it can be for a time that's so been there. Some people could lose something close to where it is they have, and then they could take their life, possibly, to come from an actual time. It's just a mentioning time. So over the location, it's just a new location is very smart. I'm only addressing this address. It's getting right for the smart time to be a recorder time for my location and economy. It's just a priority for me as well as I speak while I'm talking to not look so loose to become a priority properly position for me as I can speak of positions I see properly. I'm not locating. The reason I'm talking about the words I'm speaking to come from a time so vacant. It's just something about a time that I don't make related with the time that can't be a great position for next personal day, next holiday day, next free day to locate. Well, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you the do. I'm gonna give you the do alone. Easy in the face. I had a time for a statement can make what time make me look like I have something to look for. Besides the time, it's just I like you. Oh, and then also you become something I need to. For more of me, I know what I need. Happily, hopefully, for rightfully a time. So often, me to talk real life is not talking about. Actually, could become a kind of cool thing to talk about him. Who anytime talk. What I like to do, I like to have just type all this one is two, three, four pictures. 4 or 5 pictures. One more 4 pictures and then that's 4 pictures. I'm just calculating these things to amount as they come to make smart stuff smart. Smart. Cool. Making senses. Material time, and this make me taking this time smart all the time. Introduction. I got something like time I have. I'm positioning here so it can come for a culmination. I got something that's nice that makes this time for my nightlight a special phone. This special phone is a nightlight, right? Guided by a special phone. It's just nice with the special nightlight I have. And it's good for this day. That's almost the night. It's almost Sunday night. So Sunday night, it's going to almost be also Sunday night. So I'm not going to get another Sunday night. I just to talk about Monday night. This is a lot more of that stuff. Coming because of what's going on. Based on that, it's a fact that we can continue. It's not an indicated time. So simple. It's going to participate with simplicity. Simple. As simple as it is to be simple. I don't want to get complicated. I don't want to get complicated by a nice time. A nice time of these things, a nice kind of day, a nice day outside, or the next days. To a nicer time I have to make these times, let me become Somebody who know about it. Somebody who had jeopardies. Time with an introverted time, interesting time. Interesting time. To be so, even if these things could be becoming so of a lifetime. I got something here, so I just make you know what's going on here, so it's a nice time to become opinion for reasons in the time. I was gonna cut the step. I was gonna break the step. I was just gonna start this and break. I make the time. I have the time to make what a statement is. It's a configuration of just a solitary position. I just want to not vacate. This the coolest time that this is going to be nice again. It's going to be nice next Friday, next Saturday, when this is new for me to use to do what I do. I'm going to do what I used to do to see what I did while I do. So this is what I'm going to do with this that has what it is I did, where I'm at while I'm doing what I do. To look at a point, where a point is, it's a point for that type of stuff you can put. Where a point is, what you do. Where a point you have, where your point is. So, I'm recalling this is, all right, the room I have and a room I live in. So, I just don't want to make it simple to regard as next to a nicer day, but it's just too many people that got to wait to go to work and then they're going to be smart. So I want to be smart while I wait to go to work because then I want to be smart. So I want to think what it's going to be to have a smart day for another time to be right about now. I don't got that type of light for the form, so it looks smart, right? So let me get mine to continue. What happens? All this is something that was assistant. Blow it up, continue. All this blow up, continue. All that. One time, assistant. I need more time with lights and all stuff to get cool here. Cool is nice and it's for right, and it's cool too. Cool. It's improvement, you know. It's making this happen. Is a key condition. A key. Smart. I'm operating with observation. I'm using this quick, fine, indefinite. So it's nice, definite, fine, quick. Estimates of times and statements like this come quickly. Is this what I mean? This here I mean? This here I mean? This here I mean what I have right now. Talking this world. Talking small. Talking tall, just talk. And this here is nice is here, and then a nice time. Me looking this here too. Smart. It's an operation here, really. You know what I want not to have made it. So this is a position in my kitchen that I want to establish with a fundamental site. Granted, about a moment that is going to be nice. It's going to be nice then and as well. a solitary condition that motivates what happens. So even in this room, I want to make nothing so smart become an idea to motivate what it is I want to. So it's me participating with the time to introduce what is allocated to a priority I want. And I want this entire house surrounded with timing and with the entire day, the Sunday going to be. Because I want it to be Sunday for me. I don't think you ever understood what's happening. I don't know if you want to go where I want to go. I don't know if you want to go where I would take you. If I was going to take you where I was going to tell you, I was going to let you go where you was going to go if I take you. Why would I want you to go? I'll let you know something I know. I got things I know I want to know. What you could do. It's positioned by now. It's the time. Time is, and it's an opportunity. This makes no mistake. By now, a residual position I want to acquire my actual priority system. Cool priorities could be so aggressive, as well as how they all can be protected. You know? So this a different directions, right? Because I had this time here to make the sense of even here it has this time. The sleeping and things like that can have a nice kind of day. So I'm not going to state what the purpose is. This is I'm looking for a time that just don't make this a smart day for this time that I feel is smart. Smart. This time is also smart. And it's time that it continue to be that way. So it's time. Even these things I have, yeah, time. You know what I know? I don't want to come from to talk and be involved in what I want. But at times just often opening, often talking, often making statements that can continue to make walking smart. I like smart things. I also talk. I was talking smart. I was also walking tall. I was talking smart, walking tall, looking right. Then when you were walking so smart, you'd be the tallest thing you have to see about. You know, I forget the configurement of what I use to state what happened to me. What a mistake to have, what a time you could use, and what need I would have to make most of these things become a priority properly. Escape this one moment to say, this is going to be right. It's always going to be right. It's always going to be right or here. So it's always gonna be right here. Right this here is always gonna be. As well as right now. There was time I was gonna be right here. Even if I was saying something I was gonna do, being right here. Nice. So it's nice for me. Even when I was being right here, it's nice. Nice for right here, nice, cool. Nice as well as right here. It's nice here right now. Nice right here. So it's cool. It's not difficult, but it's also propagation or something. I said, but operating, see, being this operational time doesn't mean right around here. Anticipating the time, I should say it's cool enough. It's cool. Is it with it? And I said that smarter with right, smart. Being a smart can't just talk. That's why I like it here. Being like it's smart. Cool. Can't be. That's loud tonight. Loud tonight. Little loud tomorrow. Little loud like. Little loud. Into. If you are into. If anybody was here and if they was too into, if they can't. If anything was too into, it would have been. Well, I want to talk. I want. Something can happen that could be smart, and I just want also to motivate smart times to think of what is also allocatable time. So, full on, forgive, forgo, forgive it, go, stop, right, time for you to that. But I know, let me give you something also. Take this time, sound like this is time I like to have a nice day, a nice time. Because here, where it is, I got something of a time in a party-based statement. This just don't make so many times. It's collection. I respect this respectful aspects and expected reasons I have. I feel as though it's time, but come for cool time. Anytime, come time and cool time. Anytime time came when it comes. In these cool time, in the cool. Instant. Realistically become what to happen. So at this point in time, the government position of issue, you know, is a fundamental statement that can collapse the opportunity. I got something this small. That's a small light. Small for a light I find. That's small for a light I find. I'm just taking these times to make this. Settling there. Here can also come to do to create this. Have something that I want to do to make time of into it's like I'm almost in a difficult times and this we can make this time. This is time for conditions. What makes it time? I'm finding a priority to base here before us the time that's made. Making time mistakes with that can be conditional. Occupation is just smart times they can't mention what it is here that makes stability a time of location that I have And I have myself in a fundamental issue, and this is the installation of the position I need to benefit here, near where it is to motivate what it is that I have into a reality that can surround what right now is where I want not to have had, is to take this position as it's going to be taken so it can be used for now. And then understood is this me who has to make a definition of what can stop this momentum I know about, because it's a momentum I spoke about. So I'm going to make it that it can come for compelling a time of where I want to, what would I do, what can make something that smartly of a pill is it in the time for me, in the time, into a time that just makes it right time for me to introduce what it could be that I have had to escape to make this position very smart. It's only things that I can have here that I have. I just gotta make one more participating reason that culminate into an evidence to sweep where it is my room could be to have it very, very respected with regards to time and the granted authority placed and the benefit that I can receive by way of this moment that I have here today, where it's not a time I want to locate into a position I can have. But it's just a simplicity that can get so aggressive. It's an aggressive simplicity. Aggressive simplicity. So it's aggressive simplicity that is what's learnable for me to have that occupy. Now, it's all right. What I want to say, as I had to explain nothing, it's just the position I have today, Sunday, is the same position I want to have next Sunday. But it's not a strange. It's just an increase of a aloneness that is alone. Violent is, if it's not violent, if it is, kind of is, if it is, it always is. Is it? If well, it is. So I'm not speaking to talk to become someone who can make a visit to acquire time and state. Well, a reason that can be so rightfully time is just to endure what it could be if it was a true time to motivate what I did to have any time. I feel as though to prepare for the interference that could grant the authority to place what can happen while it is to be that way. I had a position held that didn't just make me mention of a time that's logical. It's not a mention. I know for words that I use with the position that I had, what I mentioned, would I continue to as it is mentioned? So, this not a performed rendered statement to occupy my time. It's just a position I hold here to investigate what it is that can't be used while it is I'm here, that has my investigation very, very introduced to without this time into about the next smart new position that can be held by man's best statements that I would like to take time about. So it's just that the comfort of the times I have here, they can't make a mistaken reason become so of a right wrong. It's not time to have had right or time to be with a collection. I'll just to say what happens is I motivated speech to be right, to work it shot right if it was that right to be there. When I worked it shot right, I was there to work there, and that's where does that work? Too many times to be there, be where you could work, and there's times that will be where you could work. Working there. I always worked there, and I like to be there, and I always like to talk about where it was I was there when I worked. So working there is like, if you have a job there, you work there. Why won't you work there? If you did, that's where you work. I like working. Would it be a time? It's also time. Say that works. So where it can be working, this is a nice time here. It's a nice time here. While it's here. Even at this point in time, without a place that can't be motivated while it's a place that can be motivated while it is I'm here. I'm not with regarded time. I just take at time this a position that I hold without a priority that can disappear with regards to that. I understand without the position people hold with the time they clear into reasons that don't have a specification for what it is that I want to speciate. So it's locatable. The places here. I also know that especially here is this place here that I myself live in, and this is not a new kind of day. It's only a new placement for a time that can't make statements become more grateful, more griefful, more timeful, more defeatful, more illegal of each, more residually improved output that which can't be particularly right for a time that one was feet. So even if I have to find time, it was more times I had where it was time that I found. Even there being what could come compellingly to be compelling, this is not my day to have three or four or five to become a motivation sense that I count. I myself motivate time into each and every segment of what it is that comes to correspond with a reason that I have is very right. So this Sunday, it's nice. And Sunday occurred, it was Sunday that was right. So I want to prepare this for next year is because next year is going to be this year. This year is going to be next year. It's not making me make a statement that's correct here. It's just a disrespect for what I know is to understand what it is that I respect there, where it is that I know that. I wanted to say what I continue to say, and I do. You know what I do? Because I'm going to always say what I did to be, what it happens to be. It's here. See? It's here. So it's nice to have said that. I know it is here. Nice to be here is nice to not be here. Nice to be here is nice to not be here. Nice to be here is nice to not be here. Not be here. So it's not me to authoritize something that could vacate people from their mind, such as me actually working at a place where I work to be, that's going to be where I live. It's just a time that's a place where I could have been, that would have been, I would have had people approach where it is I could be so they could go where it is that I live. And I feel as though that was nice at the supermarket that day. When I was at the supermarket for a time, I made it smart. It's not a smart supermarket like that. So what is going to make me smart? I mean, that's what I could say. And You know what I mean? For what it is that a state can a monument, it's just the identity of a successful position I had held by way of a position that I had in the supermarket I worked at. You know what I'm saying? So I can't claim that tomorrow's going to be another time to make me talk about what I'm talking about. It's just only that here where it is that I live, I have time that don't make time so other opposition that can, be introduced by that which would take away what it is I don't propagate, you know. So I do know sleep that can be, but I know also what it is that can take with time that can't compel a true issue that can motivate what it is that I want to to indicate what could be so simple to imitate, you know. So I'm not going to start this time here to make it boring for me. But it's something I feel that, people get approached by way of that doesn't make them come to be different than what it can be if they're not going to be conditioning a time I'd like to have that I wanted to have said something about. You know? But at this point in time, it's not a correction I had to make an acknowledgement of what it is I can continue to. Of course, with time, I have to introduce to make minds, to making time, and to make me my time about what it is here. I like it. I like it. I like it as I said I do, but I'm gonna tell you about what can be different. Is as it is I speak in the things while I have time and in my favor that can come from what it is I take, what time is. It's just things I have that aren't identified that can be like it's a time that what weed can be, it's gonna be smart what weed is when it comes to be a new condition that can be enjoyed to position as an actual priority that can be cool. And be like, oh shit, that can be something that can happen if it does. If it doesn't, it's something that don't. But right now, it's just a priority based on the authority of people who suggest that will be a time where I could be, where it's nice to see me with weed that I can smoke. This is nice. If it was that, but weed is not exactly what you want to see. If you want to use it, that you have to be with it, you have to smoke weed. It's time to don't be in that around. What it has to be is if it's time to smoke weed, smoke it. I could say it. But me, here, this is not that type of time that could be a decision around it. Because that also gave me problems happening with regards to sleep. But as it is that I motivated with time that I had to occur, there were appointments based on appointments I had that establish themselves to introduce my home to a stated issue that can't grant authority to place what it is that I had to be wrong about when I felt as though it was nice to not have a job at ShopRite. So since I don't, it's kind of cool that I don't. So anything that can be, if it was that what they want, come from a time I feel as though it's based on a statement that could be correct because what it is that being there is smart to do what it has when it was that way it was. So it's not even that anymore. So I feel that some type of application it was cool too. You know? So other than that, it's just also, and then maintaining what it is I have that can continue what it is I want that I can do so. So I also know that here, being what happens is I don't want to make up something that's as obvious as it is that it could be, but what could continue to be that which isn't obvious. It's just that it's obviously time that can't give an expectation to a time to wait where it is that tomorrow is. So I don't want to wait for tomorrow where it is. I want to look at tomorrow where it's at. It's in places that people still have to be that don't require what it is they can come from. They came as if it's an opportunity, I know. But if it is that I wasn't here, I was here to see. That's nice, and it's going to be. But I'm interested in the time that's right about what happens. Is I don't got no type of time to talk about Xfinity to be. It's just it's a nice place to be talking about if it's here to be talking about. So even as it was that it was an issue that I located that can be everywhere located that it's located at. It's just officiated production I like to have spoken about that I spoke about. So I mean I'm not going to take with regards to this time to make vacant my statement here. I'm also happy at other times. But if I was in my bedroom, I would not be so happy being there. While it was I was alone, unless it was time, it was a condition made for me to be better. Would it be while it was I was there? So I don't have for what time it could be a operation for a site could be being that it's all right for me to be seeing that what this can be is a compelling time for the issues I have. They don't speak. As long as the time I had to speak, I was talking when I spoke, they just become what it is I could say. When I wanted to say what I did, well, it wasn't time for me to continue to. Well, it would be that which I said that I won't. I don't like to talk on the phone. I don't like to talk to you what this does. I don't like to take this where it could be. So this can become what I like to do. Even if it's here outside, is a place that this can't become, where this can be also used. There's places that are put where these are given with a privacy, a personality that make those telephones agents of statements that can't be easily taken without respect for what it is that it can be that's not regarded. So I'm not saying that this is the coolest time in the day and everybody has a time, but everybody has a mind to be smart with regards to the security that they feel and about security that they had to appeal with regards to that's the security that makes it an actual introducible appendage to a friendship with yourself you have. You understand? I know to talk about these things in these phones come from beginning to have spoken about them at all, but as it is that I had to a time to have this speakable about with people. Because I continue with people who I talk to there are people who can continue. What about the people who don't really like me because the back of my house doesn't have a back door? It would be smart to understand that those are the people that understand I don't know them to be so correct because they understand that I do know about the back door that can come so correctly because it's a disrespectful segment for me to expect to get from where it is to what it's going to be. What it's going to be less difficult to have had placed like a place time nice, like a nice time space, like a person placer, like a person placer thing, something that can be what it could place, what a place could find, as if it could be me myself who could locate it by the time I know. I also have where it's that to give a time. And this is it's not even time to have to come to be into of a time. It's just I'm motivated this because this is a closed time to be. It's a place selected by way of what it is here that exists. going to go so I could go get a lease and then go police and then, you know what I mean, and stuff. It just to a restaurant today because tomorrow people go to work. This is a continued time. It may continue to happen. But even if it's here, I know they got that work to happen. I know that work could be what work could stop. I know what happened with a work could be. I know what happened with work could do. But if work is it's just that for this point in time, it's an issue that can work more without the relevance of what it's time for work that can't be distributed to what I want to not talk about. To make it, even at these times to come, from a time I checked with regards to time, that there's an issue of a hurriedly placed reason. I want to select without having to expect, with expectation I've had, to be with a next day or a day that's next to be. What is that? What is next? What is next to be? What is also next to be? Or what it could be suggested, what suggestions are. So, even out of these of a moment into and other times without a time or without time that would be, it's not so smart right about now to come from here to be so of an occupation that's cool. Because what I know, it's called cool because I don't know what I want to talk about to talk. So I'm not as spoken about what I was going to say. It's different things that can't be accompanied by phone and stuff. And I talk, the plunger and all this type of stuff is cool. I like it if it's seen. I like to have that established come to be fundamental for what the time is to become that's position rights of a decision I made to have that wouldn't be a compelling fight. But as these conditions come to bring a state to a culmination of what I find, what the definition of what happens with my clear that can't be called where a career is, to motivate issues that can simplify a condition and motivate what I want without statements to be all right for right now. Where I'm going to live is all right for right now, right? So where I'm going to go is all right for right now. Everybody's all right for right now. I don't feel as though if I was all right for right now, it was right to be right now. So my phone, I know for a fact that my actual Apple ID has a code that it's not used. It's just like a code you use when you actually you get your apps and things of that nature. It selects a time. You have to have an email number for your actual iPhone. And it's nice that you do have it for your iPhone, but it's not the type of email number that you have that you use on different places that just don't make it smart for here. To become this whole time, it's a nice new day that has that. It's not an email number on your iPhone. It's just nice for your iPhone to have apps that get so locked up. They look respectively locked up when they're better locked up, but they're never locked up to be at this point in time to be smart. Because what I'm trying to see is that it's trying to be a nicer time about AT&T. This nice for AT&T at this point in time to be so smart. Because AT&T seems visible. I don't like to see AT&T become so invisible because that makes them. Because if today's Sunday for the time after it was AT&T got paid for a smart time, for the nice time to have a smartphone. It's nice for me. It's a nice phone I have. All-time television on TVs, and this still makes a mistake that bothers me because here it is where I am, and I know that there are respects with regards the priorities that produce what it is. It's not hard in my entire house and in my room, where it is I regard last week, next week, to become the same exact time. That can't be. Sometimes it's a day that comes to be. And sometimes they're people you know. And sometimes people don't come so respectful. They just come as if they regret time and they make a statement so correctly. It's not the right time to be smart. It's the right time to be without an identity that makes the daytime something you know. That's why I know what I know. I know. Here where I am. Well, I want to talk. It's not compelling me to talk about what it is I know about where I'm going to be to become what I have, to make an address about a condition that I want to start with regards to have that I want, you know. So even if I wanted to do something, like make a time for something that can be impressing me without time, it's just an accessory time that makes my visit to this place where you in town is, it's not brief to say, it's just not a long time I'm going to be with a relationship that this house is owned by. You understand what I'm saying? A relationship that this house is owned by is by a relationship that this house is owned around about, because I know that I myself have more of a time, a stability that can come rightfully with a lack of regrets that just don't expect what I expect to condition a conniption to motivate me here without a discussion of a time that makes time talk tall and look long and talk smart. Because if it isn't that, which it is I have, it's because of what I want that I have, I don't talk about. So I'm not configuring my statements to make a time a reason. It's just a peaceful, private conversation of rights that can't reach my heart to tell me of my audacity. It's just a published reason that celebrates time that I can't ingrediate. What can police me outside of my time, inside of my house? Where does I have my mind? So I've been places I have, and I know where it is I'm going. Even with the right time to talk, I know what it is I have, and I know what it is I talk about. That's why I know where it is I'm going. Even if I had time to talk, I would have said that while I was talking about where it is I was at, I was coming from, so I could be where it is that I want to continue being, if that was where I was going. These times can't come from a condition. This will be where I had the thing to do about what happens if I had my clothes to be exposed and my home while I'm alone. If this where it is, I had to choose them. My position here could be like, this would be time for you to see. If someone wanted you where you were in your house and you were where you had to be, you would be where it would be so fast. It could be a nice condition to be where it would be on for a time to stay. If it was someone to come and demand you a state, it can be that you know a state that you get to demand. I don't want two times for a reason to make me have a mistake. But it's not my time and mistakes to make one so serious that it could vacate vacation. It helped me without my own self. It's just an operation that made me actually evidence a priority and make a financial rendition on my position that I hold as a homeowner here. So that's what I made. That's all I made. And it's that rendition that I made that just doesn't make it complicated for me to be inside my house and outside of it. So by way of what happened to me, while I decided here where it can be, it's a position that I hold with myself while I'm here that can't introduce the location or what it is that's not where I want to be with regards to that has a decided time I want with regards to what it is and how I decided what it is I know. So even at this point in time, there's places that I know, and there's different times I have, and there's actually realities that can't be aggressed by a priority with regards to authority based, where people can confess that the television I have is a nice one. It's the only TV I have, and I expect it to be disrespected. With the time that I gave it a statement with regards to what program it be, it's just an issue that makes it surround where it is I have my time to be even here. I don't have the time to be of a nice time for the vacation. It's not a definition of what I want to replace for a time evidently to be connected to what all these priorities can have. So I would have to respect the time I have to be, because of this. It's a breakdown of a phone that can't be positioned at a time alone. I knew it happens, but I know it also can happen. While it is I have my phone, this is a time I like with the phone I have in the time. I like my phone with having time. It's the time my phone has. It's not smart. It's not too smart. It's just a nice time, nice day, and 2 times would be nice. 2 times more, something like that. So, but at this point in time, it's just for me here that what happened to be an issue of what stated condition I want to motivate to incur now for me of what I want to have. I see what it is I know, and then I myself want this here for the identification this time. I want to not know how it could be of a position to have where it is just nice to be. And my time can be a location where it can be nice with the phone to be smart, as it's here to be a location where it's prepared to be why it won't wear a reason to be addressed. It's just nice that it can be, and it's a confusing time for this to be, and this is nice for me to see. And what I want to do is not completely discover what happened so I can stop this time, even if while these times become what this is a location, while time is here as well as it can continue to be. And even that this day can be, for me, I want to take this time easily to seek out this priority about what it is I have inside my home here. It's the authority to be inside my home here where it's at. This phone rings. This phone rings. Here it is. It's where they have these things they call selections, and they have directions and corrections, and it's not real wrong. But this is a sat space where my Apple ID is made very, very right. So it just can't be exposed by a definition. I had to single a time to make it a motivation for me to question myself. Well, as I already know, the reason that my Apple ID is exposed because it's actually accessible by way of what I have here into a time where this generally can be right. But it's not an exposure of my Apple ID to see closure. It's just over and over and over and over and then over. So what it is here for my Apple ID is not a part of here. It's just a time that this brief is not for a screen time. It's just more statements that can't be smart without these different times I have for the memory of my times I had to using this phone. It was over other edition and relevant. I like using it too. Relevant, and I always use it too. And I always like it, and I do. But here I do know where it is and where it recovered to be. Is that I just have that. This is a also nice time to have it to understand this phone I have here. So what it is I have here to do with it, what I want to without the time, and then it being so what it can be is if a time had to be, and this opportunity is a nice time to be so suggesting this. It's a nice display that I like to make this is my time. And I like that it is to be because I appreciate that it can be here, screen time. This very, very nice while it is here. And it's what it can be, what I do to have these things conditioned, or what this is nice for me to have. This is not very, very right to be restrictions. It's a restriction time based on this connection. It's a connection. It's a connection. It's a connection of an introduction. See what this is to come. Where it is I see, and this is nice and screen time. Making it so of what it is, it's actually time for me to stop talking about it so it can be right for here. General will be here, and I also had this is cool. What this come to be right for is also a nice time, and this doesn't create more mistakes to be right for without a proper propriety. It's just not at all a time that can be simulated by a mistake made that I have here to make me depend on something I need to accessory and scenes and to actually appropriate something appropriate so I can use my time here to actually look at these things so correctly, so rightfully that they can become. And at a point in time, I had that my photos are a place that I locate. And when I locate them, they're just placed, but the photos are that which make up the amount of positions that are stored in your actual phone alone. That's what I know, and that's why they're in your phone. So it can't be a place that I need for my phone to be alone. It's just that while my phone is alone, it's placed because I can't transfer data that I have quickly to make it become a YouTube place. It can't be in YouTube because there's no way that YouTube can have 60 hours of a 70 hour, a 2 hour of a, 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 a deposit of statements that can keep it occupied. And I know that for a fact because I had that much time to occupy with YouTube was, and it's no longer there. So I'm not going to correct YouTube by acting if this is going to make YouTube without time stop being as if it could be a person. It's just an occupation for me to not say what is also here to say. I also, outside, go there, outside, and it's not my decision that happens. It's also what I like to do, where I'm at. Well, I have a camera here that's nice because I also have here home and a photograph in the time to expect that these things I look for, they become as if it's the time that I want to continue to look at what it is I see so I can continue to look. Why won't it be so? Today, because of me and the introduction to Sue, to too many things I see, to too many things I can say. Is it? Isn't it? It's not it. It's not to me. It's not to me. It's not to me to give what could be forgiven because of a picture that's placed where things could surround. Nothing so interesting to become. Right now, it's something I like about Facebook not being here because what it does, it's a mistake that don't talk about gargantuan, in their privacy. This is a supposed position held by many different things that can come respectively with the time that Safari is. And this it's not a time to become all of these accessories. It's just a standard that's upheld by many different things that can't become what this expects to be a position here. It's a position of an operation that can't even here have nothing I know. To be where it is I'm at, make this time become what it is I know about here. So what can't sequester my time from my opportunity? Can't make this uh time with what it is I have to know. While I want to know what it is I'm going to continue to know, I'm going to make this statement fast as well. I'm going to continue to make it because this priority is not authorized by positions that occupy my phone immediately. It's just no way for me to address the condition of my phone with access to records that actually bring me to my storage that's represented by iCloud. The iCloud that represented my storage before I had my phone, which caused that terabytes that I pay for that accompany my phone, that don't bring the storage directly to one phone. It's just accompanied storage. That means that I pay for more storage alone by itself while it can be what it is. So it's not a pair of storage. It's an actual stated issue of applied finance position that can't come from here. It's just bills that are paid, rendered with statements that can come with receipts. The receipts that I have are accommodatingly right to be exceedingly correct. So I can't defeat the purpose of the receipts by making this stop me. It's just something that the receipts can't stop. To be aggressive without reasons, it's nothing that can obviously be a statement. So as this time is silent, I take with the time and I'm going to continue and I'm going to motivate with silence as it is at. Because I want to continue with regards to this to represent a time where I know I have in my room in the bathroom. It's a lot of times there I had. But while I was there, I went there to say which statements. I had no time. I had no time to talk about a new place for a house because the houses I like. I had a house. This is the house I like. I'm talking about it. I never saw a lot of movies that look like movies I like. I have movies I like. I look at movies I like. Apple ID, iCloud, media process, right to be that while it's here. But it's not correct to be something I see as if I'm prepared to defeat the purpose of it by making it something that's right to be looked for. I don't look for that to see. I look for it as just it's nice and it's going to be special to be nice for looking for that. I know what it is that has it. I have it that it's my own passcode that actually can unlock that privacy rendered calculation on the storage that I have that's unmounted. It don't make it simple. It just make it hard to count it as it participates to have a conditioning of what I like, render statements. All I know, and buy your gift online December 24th, 21 hours days. This can't make me smart too. Hide this to be what the position is for me. And if you all see what I'm going to do about it, it's only here. All I like is here. You see, these are payment issues for an activity I have. Well, actually, it's not for me to talk. This is renditions of my phone bill that I expect that make my phone so independent that it reaches back to the first time the AT&T represented me. And that's not even here near where this is phone. This is a phone. This is a phone by no time. No time. And even these things that can become this is not so smart as all. This is just up until continue movements and continue moving. To me here, to me to go. You know what I like to accept what I like. And this nice try YouTube Music Premium. Don't make that a mistake. Because if it's something that you know, it's something I had in a time when there was YouTube Premium. YouTube Premium it's a rendered advertisement that you can actually have that appropriates your YouTube. I had YouTube Premium for an amount of time. It's a 3-month engagement that it basically advertises that what it does is it takes the advertisements from YouTube so that you don't see any commercials that represent as ads. I know that. I'm not going to start waiting for commercials. I already know what that is. As it is identified that by way of knowing that. So where it is, I'm not with YouTube talking to me like what this is going to be suspicious or right time to me. YouTube can hold that as a a reality that bases it with it. We're just adding to what is wrong here. What's wrong is this? All right, inside those house clear cops and these disappeared statements are cool with time. Motivations can be motivational occupations that I do. So I see that this time. More time here, more. I'm only looking. These are with stats. I call my official priority what happens that the rendition of what it is that I have is established priority. Doesn't establish it. These are records based on a position that I have to hold as it is on here that states issues and compelling realities that don't involve themselves with YouTube or people with it. It's a place. It's a place here. More time and a less like place can be what it is I like to say. Because to begin what the police could do, at the end of what the police could say, they could also be in the back of my home. To be regarded, the police were in my house when they did. And when they came out, I went out. And when they were there, I went where I went. And when I went where I was going. And I knew what my mom did when I was there. She was here being there. It's not the time for her correction. It's not the time for her to know what her direction is. It's the time for her protection. It's what her protection is. So I'm only saying that because that's what her protection is. Right now, it's not the police that's going to steal my phone. It's going to be a nice phone to steal. If it was talking about it, you know how many times you got to go places and then understand what happens when people go places they go. You got to go outside to go to a place like where I wanted to decide. With this time I wanted to decide. It's not nothing outside. Coming here. I see, as well as all these cool times, cool is a right day to be into a lifestyle, into a lifestyle. I also see all these things I see. If I was seeing these things right, it's only a time here that I saw myself rightfully. What I'm going to do? See myself wrongfully? That's why I saw myself rightfully. And the security I want to talk about can't introduce what I want to have for you all on behalf of what I have for myself. It's not to introduce what can happen with you. If you happen to be, you would have been where I'm at. You would have been where I could be. I knew that. What I want to, and what I would have wanted to say was what will also continue to be what it is. It's a privacy here. I don't want to render, but what privacy it could be. It's an Apple.com privacy render issue. It doesn't make privacy that. It's just a collection of what it's respectful time of the research that I place that can continue to be researched to establish what it is research is. Because this is a time. I also see the records here placed by aggression of a particular time that uses an Apple phone without a phone to become a phone number is different, isn't it? It's a different phone number, isn't it? What type of phone number would it be I had? If it could bother you, what my phone number would be, because I want my phone number added without a time to the type of phone I need to use, because my phone number is my phone number people use to call me. It's nice. So it's the phone number I have, but nobody really likes to call me because if it's really important, it will be the phone number I'm called by. But in that would be the time I used it to talk about what the phone number would be. I use the phone number I use is the phone I have. I have a phone. So even in these times, it's oddly enough time for more things that get more smart. Try YouTube Premium. Smart doing that, right? The smart do YouTube Premium. And you don't understand these people coming from a calm position. And with these complicated times, can you all asking to occupy a position is not going to be so natural. It's just a time in these differences is not a time for I want to do about 2 times is a restriction coming for a compelling day. Can be what I'm going to. I saw one thing come. I also saw what happens. So it's not every time I come home. It's what it is that I have my phone here, and this is happening with the time. It's a hapless day to be smart. Look at the time. The smart they come inside the house, there are two individuals that could be so smart. What this would be a time for me to say it's nice for two individuals to be smart, man. Because if you had to be smart, you would tell me I'm smart. To be so smart, I remember me here, and I don't remember what's smart about. Why won't it be smart? It seems so addressable. Like all of a sudden it's nice time. I remember what my questions could be that can be addressed. Even as it is, it's a National Geographic time. It's a National Geographic time. It's a place that talks where it is. I'm not going to expend it. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to bring that to be a time that makes these times to be more what it is I have here. Having this time I had to see can't have me what it is I have to know. Where is I'm going to begin? To tell me where it is I'm going to begin to talk about what's going on. It's going on so much so that I have actual places that I created what statements can be, what these things can be if they are. If all these things are here, they go become one more statement. So when is this going to be time? Well, I have. Nobody can be so in a position where they can be so of an occupation. They would look at me and say, some things don't take time without me. I had time. I would have had time to make a decision about what's not right for me, to be into a time that makes time, not a reason without a today. It's just tomorrow and by tonight. And I do to have these pictures and they so seriously taken. Well, this makes me here. Because when I was in Trenton, New Jersey, I was also in Trenton. And I'm here. It's not smart. It's not smart not being here. Cool where it is that I'm in. Smarter because I'm here. All these places, they come to me. Even if I'm here to talk to these different types of things that happen. Where it is I have it, where I'm at. And this is where it's going to happen. Well, an emergency fire gas leaks that don't make my time so smart. And if I had to, I wouldn't want you to become a pro max in the time. I want it with regards to a time. Why won't I see my time to be introducing me? Where's time? I don't even want to have that. It's a possibility rendered to be smart. By a smart possibility rendered. I never knew my phone to be so smart. It was just without a possibility rendered time. I have had, and I had something smarter would have been where I can begin to start what it's nice for here to do. Why won't I do nice to be of an inapparent time and an inapparently, and it be inside of time, it's more inapparent time. I don't want to be where it can be a conditioned time. Where I want to have this repeated time to be a repeat to me. Where this time is. So I can continue to talk where my time could be, so it's prioritizing me. So I talk about who I see. So tell me who it is I can feel appropriate with. Well, now is the time I want. Without this time to make a mistake of an emergency I had that I know I don't talk about. With all these things I want to make a discussion so right for me to be here. I don't know of the time that makes a rendition of so many of these times a collection of what respect I have without respecting the times of what it is I also knew. I also have known that here it is that these are things that have within inside of a time without a phone. That making these times become, it's not a statement. Statements can have to become what would a patient be? And even if I saw even a time for a reason is an odd time to operate, observe. Why it is me that can't talk to be so now? It's not aggression to talk for professionally, but if it was a professional talk of aggression, these professions that are realized by reasons that can't be weapons, for restrictions that can happen so much, they can come from here and go to places that come from. Well, I want a restriction for. I felt as though more times don't speak about these two or three things. I found these things smart that I was thinking. inside of my thought to be where I would want to not think so much of what this can continue while here. Because what I felt being patient, or what could be so much of what it is that can't continue to be smart. It's not the end of what I've said. What it is I want to say. It's the beginning of what I know. And what I know. And what I know. And what it is I would while I wouldn't know. What I would know and what I do know. Because I know. I also know that there's stories. Such as these things I know. These things I had, such as the time that I know. There's also no friends that I had that I know. And there's a time that even to introduce with the time in these smart movies. So conditions, they don't have things to go with time. They don't have time to be about our time. They have times. They have times. So the decisions I made don't come to a confident time to make this a time that can't see a cease, a reach that can't introduce a priority that stops this time to make this all the seasons is common compliments to confidence. I was taking time to see how many people could see what would be so big about what I could talk about. A woman that was named Angela Davis. She was talked about where television is, and she always could talk, and she's even in two times spoken to me. Most people can't talk about it. To be weird as she comes compellingly to be. And I know me to be right to be here, to be right for a time. This can even be a small installated time for me. And with this remove content, I know for a time now, feeling as though these times could be aggressive by time, which this could be of a time for checking inventory is the best time of saying something that just comes to be me taking the time. It's not the time I take here. Where it was I was taking that time taking what account that I call my backup account. But the account could be accounted with reasons. It's just an account that's regarded. Well, that's what's restricted. And all these accounts could be so, if not right, something that's not real right, something that's not entertained by iPhone formats. It's nice for iPhone formats that could be entertaining. If it was my words that could entertain iPhone formats, I wouldn't even want it to talk about what I want to make it to configure something that's nice for identification of a criminal identified by activity that can't report it. You see, if I said that it was not going to be here, it's not going to be there. It's not going to take to that about what happens tomorrow to become what happens at home, what happened at my house, what happened when I did. Cozy up in these are nice times. What can nice? What happens? But there's an amount of time that says that even in a time that in the beginning of last month, I recall what happened because at that point in time, I lost what can be up to 9 months, representing 9 months of documents that record realities that approach here. As it is, it was a place that wasn't introduced to me while I rented rented this place, or assumed it was leased. It's aggression, but it's actually that which surrounds here that can't be a correction to speak of that here, which it is correct. It's not me being correct. It's not me being disrespected. It's not me being disrespectful. It's not me being accosted by what I know. And we just hear that what's here. These small pictures are real big pictures, but these are no pictures. These are no pictures. These are reasons that don't make mistakes to become so many of them could be real big days to become real right reasons. For the time I had, this can be the time. I also know this. I do know. I know about this day for now. You want to know about me? I feel as though I like to be here. I don't like it all to be. What can happen at all times? It's also something here I like. Called Jeepers Creepers and watch me here. To remove this, a post. So I can always do something I like to remember what would happen to be. About right now, talking about this is always here to see what I know. Even here, here, it is here for time to render my statements of the time. What positions I had that's nice. They're nicer time. They're nice. It's a nicer time when I move here nice. At the time when I wasn't going to be here all right, the time is nice for me to move here, and I'm here. So what is it? It's just a time I like for my clothing to be so smart clothing. But I see what this time is not really about an investment into the option I had was to choose how fast that this could be a time with a time into time, regardless, without me saying these things. Even if it was a time for me here, I could stop saying what things could be because I could introduce a time that doesn't make no time. This is a nice time for a precise picture that can't let you know about what it is that I have here. The police don't have a hospital to talk about, and I don't know the police at the Ewing police station to come. Where the police come to educate themselves, where I educate you about how I educate me. How do you think I will feel where it is I feel because something isn't going to be correct? It's the wrong time to have disrespected the respect I respect that I do respect. I respect where I do respect, and this is a disrespected share. You don't choose to talk. Well, I don't want to react to this as if it's a view I like that you can react with. It's nothing that could choose what I like. A choose time could approach. What is this for my time in my house alone? When it is I'm here, I had a house, a home. I had a house here, my home. You know, a time I know the time. I'm gonna tell you what. If I had time, that my house came with things that were in a place with aggression. It was placed like a door of a statement that could be not really nice, not at a nice time, not nice for now, not nice to be nice, and then what I wanted to talk about uninstall apps. It's cool. I liked it, and then to talk about this smart time to be. More of these things can become superfluous. You know what a superfluous time is? I would like to see superfluous. Even if time is superfluous. It means it's not a render issue I want without a purpose that can be perfect with. I've seen this too many times to make this statement. It's a time without what can be tobacco backup account orientated. All these things can't be where I want them to be. But congrats on getting is a congratulations based on this time. That's a stated place that has appropriated a curse that has eSIM. The eSIM is different, but it could be if it was released, but it's so small, it's a actual property appendage approach with a time. That's the only time that I knew about it. So smart that that's a nice time for it to be there. So that's a nice approach to what it is not going to stay so it can stay there. That's what happens. They're on Facebook here. They're Facebook where it is. And I don't know. I don't know at all who these people can know, but I know I'm going to be where I can't leave here. So I'm not going to let you know around here where it's going to continue to be. But I myself know what's going on, and I want to be all right. Right was right. Right was right. What my mom could come without here could be for us here to be what you all want me to talk about. For fear, without fear, is just what could care is that it's a quick time that can render what is a reason while one render where they could be is the issue right now. If I said all of a sudden, all of what sudden, and then all these things could come from a mistake I had. It's a mistake I see. It's not the mistake I have. It's more time, more. I even had that there was inside of what my phone had to be too many things that my phone could collect that can become a respectful day, become But before this can become a seasoned reason, nobody understood what Facebook could be, because at this point in time, Facebook is only a prioritized place that can't be talking about now. It's boring if it's boring. It's also boring, but it's not here. But these times don't go where it can be outside. And if it even was there outside, it's not a time outside. So even in these times, the smallest things could be where the biggest things had pictures in. I would see Francine talking smart. I would see Frankie talking stupid. I would see myself talking smart. What happens? Even these things can't do. It happens. What's going to always be happening. It's just life is an alternate time to be. What can actually make me to have an introduction to introduce me to who you could feel as though you would want. If it was nice for me, I would like to have had to, while it's to where I want to introduce is not coming compliments of what it is I said. It's what I can say about what I want to say about what I haven't said. So more of these things can be as they are. But less of these things can be for me to prepare for not being here. It was when I prepared to be here when I was not here. So I mean, I'm going to difficult with time and these two different escapes to escapade. And this and that is that this is still a place I plan on making without corrections, correct with the statements I have left without here. For myself, it's a statement with more things that I don't want to use because at this point in time, I know here is where it's a position. I have recent reachable times that I can say that this is all right. Account-based statement that is full of reasons that I know that I do like here. But what happens? What happens? I also like to be here. What this is here for. So what happens? And this and all this is gonna come to be here. It's all nice here. It's gonna be right here. Which is cool for. It's a nice cool day. For a nice old day. For the new cool day. For cozying up to all this. Cozy up to all this is nice. I would rather see something that I like that was like what it is I can like that can also be what I like. So in any of these days, these are conditions for me to talk about different types of phones. So I can to talk about different types of things that different types of people do. This time could be. But even in to time where moments could talk about what accounts could be restricted. It's nothing with a restricted account that can be taken with. Even in time, outside of the time, it's not the time to take a restriction for my account to be the account I said it's the time. I also like to I see to what I want. But why wouldn't I if I had time to talk about what here is a nice time I like in this? It's not nice of a time to be correct. Correct for me ain't right at all to be. It's not right. It's not going to be right at all to be because I especially had time that was prepared. That made a time that was so much more prepared. It was prepared more. It was much more prepared, and it wasn't smart, man. It was a smarter part. Scintilla of a scintilla. You ever heard something called scintilla? It's a time. It's a scintilla. It means that a scintilla is not really right. For a scintilla, it's a word that I heard before that was used. Nobody gonna use this word. I like to have if I had to. Because it is I myself heard. What it is I heard myself say, as it is I can say it. If I said these things that I said today, they don't become what I wanted to say because I had to. You see what I had to? I had always said what I wanted to see. In all my spaces, I talk about these different things. I talked about it differently, but it's different when you hear. See what you're going to have, and the difference is a difference. It's not going to tell you what I did do. I wanted mine, day, free. Even if when it wasn't going to be located by me. It was going to be with tomorrow, but right now it's not going to be free for me because I didn't have a statement to make right. I just had a statement to make real to introduce a budget for now to make. You know what? You know what? A finality. It's a fundamental fine. Even while it is here for me, I don't even want the time to be restricted to be economy, other economy to come. If I had to do something, I wanted to. I didn't want to talk about what I did. I thought I had much of time, and the time I had with regards to much of it was time that can not speak with what I want to hear. I want her. And what it is I can continue to want her can be an individual time made, but if it's smart, it's going to be an effort that makes a nice time notification call, which is it's nice to be other time here. And I'm also calling these things daylight when I took pictures inside my house. I forgot that was supposed to be nice for a time in this. And I also had this here, and I was looking in here for a time I was talking about an account. For this account, I'm not going to apologize for these statements that can make no reason a right to get so flippant that can be. I depended on this position here while I have it because this is the position I take. Here is a time I continue using here. I also continue using where it is that Facebook could return because there wasn't a time that made anything stable. There was a stability that is stable. Even as I'm home, inside my house, it's not my fault to talk what I'm going to do outside my house and stabilize me with stable is while I'm here, inside my house, inside my house, outside my house, because this is not the weekend to talk about today, to discover what the weekend is going to be. All the weed I ever smoked in my life, that's not the weed I smoked in my life. Just a day. For everybody that had different type of weed they smoked in their life. But I also want to see what type of data could come from what could happen when the time could come from this right. It's I gotta eat with again, and I also have time. I'm gonna eat with the food I have for time, and then defeat. Even as it is my time here, I want to eat to time. I want to have time to have food, eat, and I eat the food I want. And I'm always smart with food to eat to become a privacy now. What's privacy here? Privacy in the shopping bag. In the shopping bag of the privileges, a small warlock means copyright. And the infringement, immediacies to warlock means copyright infringement. In mediocre times could be as if these words were smart. They can be smart. I feel as though what can be the focus of them can come from. I addressed it by way of the screen, to compact it to realities, to give the picture a nice time, to take. But these become they're the same times, and the time is right. The time is right for these positions, these abilities to be stated with utilities that can't come from investment. It's just an assessment of place to become into, and as the time becomes right, it's a time that could be right for paying a phone bill. It's not the phone bill I want to start paying. It's the time that the paid phone bill is right for. But the time the phone bill is right is when the paying of the phone bill is right. I know. I know that because I paid for the phone bill. That's right. Because this can also make this phone right because it works with or without a phone bill. But the phone bill it works with, it's also a phone bill it has. So this phone bill it has, it's also on a phone because it's a nice phone for me. It's also a nice phone. I don't want to have to go. But this obviously is too mature for people who see that this is a nice time for me. And even to delete the police or priorities, all these things could go well. I would like to move where a movement could be, but even if I want to move, I don't want to move around. Here to be moved like trash and come not moving here. It's not nothing I want to move. Like it's just distance, more or less of a move. I recall that. I saw these things I don't like to move to trash, but I know that they do go. Yeah. But what it is I want that can be smart is that I speak to talk about what is smart. It's just, I have memories around here. Without agenda, there comes a leaders here. Speaking, talking. It's only an obstacle I have here today, man. Even in time, I got a lot more obstacles I have to leave. But today, and it's a clean priority I have for my phone, my home. It's what I don't want to talk about. Knowing is if even the time I have so here to operate as if it's nice. I also know in time that I do want to do something that I have with this time to talk about, and it's regarding. You know WhatsApp? It's only WhatsApp, and it's smart. It got so smart. It was placed where it was, and I'm not talking about it to be WhatsApp. So I'm gonna allow it to be where it is because it's gonna go to trash to be like move to trash. All I'm doing to end is what I'm going to continue to do. You know, and I always did do what I did. I'm going to continue to do. So I'm checking this seriously to make my time here good. So more of my time. More of my time is my time. It's more of my time I have, but this is my time I have to look at this seriously and to talk because this is I placed these into a time that culminated with a trap that I wouldn't want to have that could have been attracted. It's just what happened is there's no restrictions that Facebook covers that can be brought from where it can release into a moment to be can still constantly issued. So it don't become here if it was that. But even if I use the time is a nice time where Facebook is smart. It's not smart for me here to be smart. Smart. So I don't got a lot less time to talk about all of these more movements for me. It's just me. It's just me here to appropriately talk about what's also going to be here for me to motivate. What this is a cool time for me in this. I like when this comes out to be out for time into what motivating statements are. What I do like. I also like to because it's here. So I at a time, I also at a time had this smart day come where I also could see that I know is what congratulation could come from where I had to talk. So I don't got time to sleep around and then be asleep. It's food I have to eat and it's food I'm going to eat. Yes. It's food that comes to and it's things that I'm going to know. Yes. But it's not appreciated by it the things I have to be smart. But yes. So even if the things I have in my home haven't addressed, you never saw me in my home. When it was time for me to have time for a sad address, a sad new day for died. Did you ever, and ever died, ever to reside outside of the time? Well, I didn't want to picture. I didn't want picture. I never wanted to picture anything. I never wanted to picture anything. To talk about what it is I have, so I could talk about what it is I wanted to do. About these things is even here, it's not the same identity of identities. What I also want to do, and I refuse right here by myself to talk about what it is, or what I said, and where it is I talk. I didn't use time to talk about what it is I could. I only made a matter of fact, so readily able. It was a dominated timetable. I wanted to rendition without even here. This place, I don't even want it with a time that it could have with attack as a sat. A place that can be sat with attack as a sat. You know what attack is? If it's a sat, it's a place that was attacked while it was sat. Suggested as a sat. Statements that could be, if into time is. As I said this, I just have myself. I myself also have that my hair grew as this long could be for me to be located where I'm at, and then I go to come. And what happens is for this also being that to come from where the time is to be where time is. I want to do something partly of what I know. But I don't even know that which can render the decisions I made, but the opportunities I have to be what a mistake can have by way of a rendition of what I know I remember. While it is I know what I remember. It just don't make me claim that anything here could be smart. It's just a lot of things that aren't smart here, and it's more that's relevant with regards to me that I know that I can't educate someone to teach themselves by themselves, So where my statements could all end, it's just a compelling time to make sense without that, which can be less with realities that one could see if sensible was a priority. At this point in time, I do feel as though it would be a place I live at home, where I live here. There can't be the day it could be at home. There can't be a priority that can be the place I live at home. Without that priority, it's the authority I have. There can't be with this place I live at my home for, and why that priority is wasted and saved. Where the time that can't be given or arrested. So even if it is I'm here, while now I can't be positioned with a time stated while I want myself without things that I can do to have that this is a nice day for a time without what could happen is a nice time. It's always nice. At this point in time, it was all these things become a nice Time for a different new picture, right? So, at these things to say, at this time I talk, when now I have right here, why is it I'm here? It's the operation of a movement that can be what happens not being so distributed can be while little is as other is other places that could be can't become statements. So what it is that I know in Tubin is also here is you know. So so what is going to be in this to be it's more with the time I said that I want to continue to talk about what's also what happened. Is this a lot less time to configure what it is that can't be possible for me by way of what it is that's here possible? It's possible for at this point I really can't grant the authority to recall what that would be that could be stopped while it is that I impress what is also given by granted authority placed what I heard while I heard myself I said the things that can be what can be more located without the two total time two reasons times could be if anybody has said to say something about what I said something. What if it was I like saying what I said and that was nice to say. It was nice to say. If I did say that, that was nice. So I'm what could be remarkable is being nice. Nice was nice. What can be because of that rendered statement nice. So even at this point in time, it's an issue I had that I want. So this isn't compelling me to continue to specify the reasons that could greet the position I have to appendages stated reach of time I want, time that could be like people who had time. But even if there was something I had about YouTube that I use a difficult statement that can come with a suggested reason that I can make Sunday that this is monumentally agree about what this statement is, or what it is I agree to be making where the statement can be. I never thought because of in the phone, my way at this point in time, what I have with this is a phone that it can make that I can see. For it could be while it's alone. It's not going to be matriculating right to be aggressively prone to be stabilized with an issue that can't be correct enough to make a mistake smarter than the issue I have for the words that I can use to continue to address what I know for a fact is not. You see, because even if this time I like is new, I gotta do what this is all to be. Because smart people see, but even these realities times talking about relatives, it's only what I call what it is I prepare. aware of what it is I have, what it is that's there. So in the individual time, this is not going in the individual time. These smart times is I would have happened. I would have happened to see. Then with this is smartphone, and then with this Mac on, I like smart in time, smart without moving time. I like to move just quickly as if it was that smart. Beginning is instant time because all these things is becoming so interesting. Is that it was the time the priority is based on the authority I wanted. I wanted also that this could be priority. For priority, it's just flip from where it was. You participate. Yeah. So I mean, it's not that time to be more expressed that I would be with too. It had to be the best time I could see. Very, 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 very prioritized with regards to. So into and then something I like is not going to expect me to see where I like here. It's going to take from this to where I know and let me know what I like. Based on what it is I feel that I want to also say. So I know what can happen, and I also like to talk about what goes on. I had a long time to talk, and I got a lot of things to talk with regards to, and I talk. But I saw missing things come first to be right for, and stop being right. Because in the time, it's going to be smart being right. But so I mean, these times it's just a time. So even into a time, it's just to moments, and we see this twice more of this in this, for proof of a professional of an aggressor of realities. And so with now, while it is time for me to express this aggression, it's just not very smart for me to continue where this could be to act as if this is a reality of a time where it's right. It's always going to be what I want to say that this is for a placation. There's vacations. See, smartly, because it's not my vacation. It's not always going to be a vacation. It's going to be all the vacations in the statement, statement. Because I know, to become find a time to be what it is that I like to see is what I want to always see. I want to always see something. I always have seen something. So I would want that to be different for now. I don't want to always have seen something. This is going to be different for now. I always have seen something that's different for now. To be what it is, I still have seen something different for now. But to be, that's still what I have seen different for now. Where I see, still I have seen it different for now, and it seems like that's what I see, and it's always going to be different for now, and that's what it seems like. So I got a router is a place that I think about. But if you thought about, you would have thought about what I was going to think about. I was going to think about some smart stuff. Like what could be a new time to begin to depict a position. It's not an old time to talk about it. So even these, I don't have to complain about But for me to have that, that's a time to talk about it. I just had to let you know something I need to always have had that. And that's also there. It can be so, it's also want to be there to continue to be there. So I know the happening could be, but this isn't happening to be where I want to include because these times it's just that what happens can't be a reason to reach here because this is a position that can't uphold a realistic time to wait where I want that can't be where I benefit with regards to well for now. And this here for now, what privacy gets to be, it's not too nice for me at this privacy, just remaining Apple in privacy. It's not going to continue being audacity to be like this is smart for me to say something such as iPhone. For this to be why won't I say something such as iPhone smartly? Because it's something I like to have said about it that don't become a surprise. Here is I like this here. I like this here because this is a nice day. So here would be anybody who said, for now, moving time will take a place such as what I always do want, and then this time for me here to take what I have, and then you see me as if you saw this thing, and then it count. I like a card could be introduction to me to be what immediately can have me talk to make this for a time you can be of a time I want so small to be right here to or right for here. It's just what I wanted to do, but having it is what I have to say. Into time and this and interesting to this time. And me here, I'm taking this to move to a nicer time for the archive would be a move in the archive. A move to archive. It's a nice archive. I see that the archives are right smart. They smart. Moving and trash is smart. Because it's not going to continue to be a statement. All the statements that can come today to make this, it's not remarkable. It's not going to stop being remarkable. It's just not controlled by time that makes this a nice day. It's all the nice days that I wanted for myself and more nice days that I want about what can continue to be what I have here by myself. All what I want to do is what can say this time is all of the days here are nice. Time to plead, time to be in them. But if it wasn't going to be correct, it was time to see. And these people see what this is for even this is time. And then to try YouTube Music Premium, it's nice if it's there to be tried. So what happens is what this can't be coming to be so of a time, it's not nice for a time to be expected by economy of a time to be around it. Priority that can't be introduced with a time. These segments are culminated statements that can be introduced here. For this that can't be taken. And I myself, I do know, and what I know is that I can't continue to see. What is this all having to be walking around where I want? These are not the times to say what can happen to all the mistakes. When it is here, it's a mistake here. And it's the time I like to make a mistake. By not making mistakes. And then I talk about the mistakes I make. And I don't want them all here at all. I want the mistakes I make to become. Where these times I see them all. To be becoming one time is an awful loss, an awful lot, a lost time to stop, a time that I lost that I could stop. I would have had to stop, to have time to stop. to stop being capable to have that. I had my time to stop being where it is I wanted to have that. I would have stopped. I feel as though it was a time I found it was going to be a time I knew what I would have had to say while I said it. With stupidity while I had introducing what I knew. While the person I have in time. And to the time I still have to know what it could be that you can still have. And where it is that I wanted to be that. I want not to tell you what you do, where I want. Because these things could be smart. I know why it is I would want to have this time to see. What it's going to be that I want to have to not talk about. And these things I say, what it is what I said, then what it is I could say that I always have said. All these people talking in to talk about these reasons is just over, and then a time of a traditional reason is just, what I want to say is I haven't seen the pictures that I introduced that came from a position that I made here, right? So I mean, like, this is nice to be right smart. Smart for now, right? For it's gonna be all right to be smart. It's gonna be different to be what is smart today, and it's not gonna be smart at all. It's gonna be right. It's just gonna be smart and right. And all the founded things that can't be allowed in nice days, I see in this. This is a nice time. I see right where the time could be ending, and then again, and then again, and then again, and then it all. And this becomes anybody here homes, anybody who here home can become difficult as well as the time to be, and difficult as well as who trying to see, as well as who difficult, as well as who I'm trying to see, not be so introduced by what I don't want to become a selection of what I have that can make an opportunity for my statement of what I find is not accessory. It's just accessible, where time is to condition the state here is in the time to be entertaining. Me here it can be from here and there and to move. It's a light to stay out of a memory that I require where it is time in the colorful days to be a winter privacy that can be all these things that can't. Cookies is a settling time. Cookies, it's a settling time for cookies. You know, cookies settings, they were found in a way that I have in my actual iPhone that didn't make them so aggressive. They were a decision that created a reason for a reality that I endorsed that couldn't make an option correct. So I stated what it is for my phone. I had it. That's correct for me. It's correct for what is the location at and what the location is. I don't want to make it state that location. It's smart that I found that. I found it smart. I found it smart. So I know enough about things to talk about smart, about who gonna find smart times. Like all the smart days to start smart, looking at smart days, looking at the smart days. Look how smart it is to see what time I like. I like looking at smart days to be anybody I saw. Because I know. I never wanted to do. To talk, so I like to say what this can call, what I wanted to talk about all these, why won't I talk to? Speaking would be, if I knew what I like, if I knew what I know, if I knew what I like to know, if I knew what I was going to talk about, I wouldn't have said what I wanted to do while I spoke. Because I'm not going to talk about this day. It's all of them. It's all of them because now they're all going to be here. As if another one could be like this time. This is the time for me to look immediately at the time and say these types of times and tall seasons. They not only here. This repeat time. It's still next week to have to occur. So I'm not going to publicly be into a time that's going. And the Hamas-led Israel attacking these wars, I wanted to believe what introducing that to you. The introduction would be. With the introduction, you can see, I never saw the end of what it could be based on what it's going to continue to be as it exists. So what can happen is, what can also happen is it's also going to continue happening. So I'm not going to take it here. To begin, that's their word. And it begins to seem smart. It does. As it is, it's not going to be the darker day to be the smartest. Or what it is that's going to be ending to be smart. Ending. How the FBI ending to be smart is always the end. This will come up a day. Deadly aggressions in deadly in times. I want to a talk. It's something I like to say. I did to talk. I talk. I was also going to have talk. I was going to talk. I'm going to also into have talk because it's intuitive. This is intuitive while talking. This is also to intuitively talk. It's a place vacated by way of what my phone is, and it's intuition of an intuitive talk. Intuitively talk for a phone that can be of an intuitive talk that can be up in December the 7th. It's not intuitivity. It's not 2. It's not 3. It's not 2. It's not intuitive. It's not for intuitive. It's not intuitive. It's not contextual. It's not contextual. It's not a contextual intuitivity. It's not too of a contextual intuitivity. It's nice for a phone that can be right. But if I'm going to be, I want my phone to talk about what's going to be wrong. It's nice for iPhone to be all this Mac stuff and all these types of things. And it's always nice that could be. It's always smart for that to be. But it's not right to be that. For it's going to be something that I would like to have had. Well, I add this time. I would like to add this so many times. This comes from a radical time. I want to introduce this while it is here with this question for me to talk about what I know. I know this all when time is not being so congested. We're talking about this time. I feel as though the time is real right. Nobody come from away. Or this could go into time. And I don't know why. I also do know how and why. Because I identified these things here. Yeah, I did identify these things here. Identified these things here while they were here. The questions I have, they don't request this time. And you know what I like to say? I like these things I like to say. I like them. These things I like to say. I like them. And all these times were like last year. Always going to be last year. So always going to be what I saw. All these things I know for a fact I like to be doing what I did. And this make this time so much to me. To say with this question. For me, to make a mind time. And how many of these times take time? Took it in time. There's a time I understood that the place where these questions could be publicly real, they can't be understood. Well, it is a place I can't even see what my identity could be by way of these things. Serious. Why these can't come to be so many of them, because most things can be correct with now. But which going to be correct without time to be corrected? It's not going to be disrespected. It's going to be just introduced. What I see here, as well as what I had to talk about. And it's a monumental time. I just had to say that what's going on to be. This is an acknowledgement of what I want to have said. And it's also a time I like to also, and then say, this can make me talk, and then continue to do what I want to while I'm here to talk about what's not going to be conditions. It's not that this is a time is all is the times. This is a time is all the times where been because all these congrats talk can give time without me to say. It's the reason here, and I had time that can compel my address by this statement. And at this point in time, it's a statement that makes me very compelling to see. Is this statement what the statement I want to make? Well, I do. And for now, what I do is want to have had that this is a statement I would make. While it's me making that a correct statement here. I didn't want to have to survey this time to make this surveil service time as a economic time, and these things that don't make me upset make a correct day for me to be well into time. Time is for me to have that this is nothing too aggressive to be so even to talk where this is a defeated person just can't make this become deletion. And even this is I wanted to while it's here in this very new to me to have a time to see of assimilation of the time. I also knew I wanted to set this is very new for me to have to see it uh, 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 it's a provided accommodating feature that can't be very new for me to see. So what happens also is it's not going to understandably be me to have a condition that can make me look so wrongably. But I wanted to belong. If you all saw anything like I have that I can have that I would do, it's something I like to set. Well, this is going to continue to like. It's going to continue to see me where I'm at, and you're going to all lose yourselves to be what I wanted to say. I wanted to talk about. What could you choose me to talk? You wanted to choose me to talk? You wanted to choose to talk? I wanted to choose you talking to me. If you all saw me look at the time, it was nothing I saw so awful. It was something to choose to speak. If I saw you, I saw so awful. I saw day to day. I saw yesterday today, and I didn't see so many things that could come. Where I wanted to choose for time. To choose in this time, I see what I wanted to be seeing so off the time. Because it's something I like to say. And this is awful days, awful today, off the time. So what I want to do is I want to also talk this day about what it is to be. So prioritize authority. I would have to have said that it's cool to be what it could be if you knew what it was a move to be. Because if I looked like it was cool, for any move you see to choose to talk, it wasn't going to be moving. But me, I choose to talk. Well, this is an improvement. This is nothing here to be a right to be moved. You know, I like everything I said to be correct for this. And this is the time I would also become what would become an outcome of what it is I wanted to tell them. What time I said, and I also had time I would like to have had to what time I had. But about what this is regarded for is just what happens is to be approaching is nothing considerable about what can be a considered statement that can't make time continue to realize what the reason is for the time that is continued. That would make a stated issue for my time. It's not a time of an issue. It's not a time to get a spoken issue that can be provoked. It's an examination of what it is I wanted it to do. I also would have wanted to do. We spoke about all these things and then conditions. The time I wanted to say what it is for you all, that what you could see, what I wanted to see, what it's all to be, if we all saw what can be seen, it's something else I saw. But to see these things become so far spoken, so far of it, it's just nothing that condemn it or condemnate the time of operation. Again, and now where is it? I don't even have the prerogative to produce a reason for this statement because this is a statement I made many different times to have occurring that this way and be here. It's a nice time for tomorrow, for tonight, about now. But even as this occurs in this, it's just an inventory of what I like saying, and I also do like to say that that's what I would like to say. So out to be this is talking speech to be. I had to have said was nicer to be too of a time that don't make this as time as this. It's not a mistake that could be made by way of what would be great to have a mistake that could be made. But righteous time is by any time such as this. Any time this could be by what it is to have had times like this. Over time, it's an ecological reason for I don't even want to have to explain what this is necessary for to make no reason, no opportunity come to appropriate condition I need that can do something I don't want to continue to do. Well, that's what I'm going to do. You understand? So this is Sunday, correct? Correct. When it won't be Sunday is when Sunday won't continue to be another time. So Sunday for me is nice and it's smart. And it's smarter being nice while it's smart. Because there's so many appointments I have here that don't miss the mark that I don't make, because what makes a mistake is nothing that can have so many mistakes. But what makes this benefit something that can't be so lost is activity so aggressively without a mistake. It's nothing about a position for what type of a physician can have about more of these things can nobody ever anytime see. I want that time to be smart. Where a time could be smart. Where a time could be smart. What time could be what's smart about now into the time I see as a smart day could be for this time to be talking. It's not as smart about what I like to accept, because this smart time, it's not the day to be smart for today. The day to be smart for today, it's the day to have time to have been smart yesterday. Or it have been so smart when it was time yesterday could have been to be smart for yesterday. I prepared for tomorrow. Because I had this one with me where it is so much of time that it continued with me, where it's going to continue to be to make these times so close. It could approach a record going about what I do have, what it is I have, and also the respect and notification in this totally can be opposite, proper with time. I don't want a properly conditioned statement that can't condition this time. What a phone would be, what a photo could be, and why these photos all can be so into a time. I like to set it's only orientated for orientation of what I wanted here. And this ain't going to be no type of nice fan. It's only an addition of a new time. For this backup account, I will use to monitor my new iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'm not a fan of a fan orientated. It's ready to be something I like to have, and it's smart to be nice for this all and all these things. And it's nice to have. I liked it to be where it could be, and I liked it also. So at this point in time, what I want to talk and continue to talk about is what I want to confront tonight, and tomorrow. It's the time I had, the time to say what it would have been at a point in time that had this conflictual time to be. The way I wanted to set was right. To become what it is to be. Well known. About these special times to be of this time, what can also be right? To be of an opportunity that I do know what happens about what to not having to be so expositions. Right here's the next priority I like to and into and with time. I have a segment of statements that can be right, but I know for a time it's a small time for anybody who can make without a mistake of time. This of a compliment to a priority. It's just an approach that I know I like to do about what I have today for here and what I do and why I know, as I do know about now that what I have is what I'm going to do. And about now, I'm going to go to where it is I have to actually use my phone rightfully with a rightful time to make it a right time to be used while it can be what I have here because it's a nice thing. And I like it. And I know it is to be correct, but at this point in time, it's that where it is that makes this a correction is that this is an opportunity here for another time, for another space of a time to be placated. My musician is going to be smart for what's also going to be smart. Turn more. So I don't want to have had to have said that this is going to continue to be a difficult day for a more locatable appendage without the phone I have here, as well as it's nice and it's cool, and I do like it. But there's things that I want that can be prepared where it would be. So it's not so of a save time, but these are places here, and I do know. I also know that the save places that are filed are places that save as well. So I'm not introducing you or anyone at a moment that this can be not what a collapsible time could be, what could also be an accessory. But this is also an accessory of a collapsible time. That can't also be what an accessory is also, well, it's an accessory of a collapsible time that is with that which is also. So I like this to continue to, and I find that, all right, well, even in my mode of transportation when I walk, I like walking if I do and I walk. What it can be to forget about what can come so forgetfully to be with a time that can be, right? For what if, what else? But with regards to that which can occur, I even know that how it is that I can occur to be with regards to what it is I want to continue to be. Saying what I'm saying to say is there's more things that can be said faster than what I want to say. So I mean, even at this front door where I'm at, it's the front door where I'm at that I'm going to leave again. So I don't question it to be required, but I do understand that what it is that happens is there's also going to be mail that gets here the day after the day. It's going to be tomorrow. So it's not a lot of mail that establish the time that can collect it to make a mailbox to respect it, but it's the mail that gets approached when it is I approach it. So I do approach the mail. And even when I do approach the mail, it's an approach the mail can't take to have a time for the mail. And then while it is that for me to be of existing time, I also want to be with the time here now that can be more mentioned without time that I had to consider here alone at this time where I'm at to have to consider about the things I know and the things I don't want to introduce without time to have what it is superfluous. There's a purpose for a superfluous reason for without time to give me what I have to time to take to make anything become surprising for me, to introduce a surprise that can't be surprised with a personal time. That can be a surprise for the things I think about now that can continue to be talked of. Where I spoke about while I'm talking in the moments that can't take time to stay still, to make one time another day to become what I do not appreciate, to become now what I feel as though is appreciable. So I eat that what food can come from where I had to save the regarded time. Is that I have that there's also appreciated time that I want to appreciate. But I went outside and I go outside freely as it is. But there's not a side outside there. So I can't decide that the actual provisions that were made by those who understand what it is that happens can condition what it is. It's just a place where it can be into a, 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 a suggested time that's right to have become so right to regard what it is that's concealed with even the most delicate heat that's positioned is colder outside that it will be. So I mean, I could be having fun here because it's very very hot. But it's going to be colder outside where it will be. So this is considered my first winter here. It's a summertime type of winter for me, and I don't want to express that as it is. It's me expressing it alone. It's a time to take that expression as it can be, and then to keep it where it is you can have it, so it can be the vacation of a time that would stay with this can continue to be is that type of vacation I would want, but not to make that type of mistake. So at this point in time, I don't have a point with the time in regard, but at this time, I want not to have said that to be so regard without this time. But I do know that what about this and with this time I have, it's not going to be a mentioning to be a location that I don't want to wish for it to take time. That the time I would take to locate the position I would keep because I myself am with a time I purchase these things that I want, that I'm with, that came to care for what I do, that I have, that I'm with, that can take me where I'm at because I'm with where I'm at. So I got what I have while I'm with where I'm at here. And you know what I took? Where I was at? I took a smart time. Correctly smart, without stupidity, and it was respected. So at this point in time, I had time to be located rightfully. But at this moment, it's not even a stated statement that could be with the time I want not to have regretted about here, so that even when it is to be an activity, I also watch the news as it occurs, and then it's going to be very, very brilliant and very, very stark as it aggressive and it continues to go. As it does, and it will always be that type of news to be. So I'm not going to allocate a time. Hello, how you doing, man? It's smart where a hamburger is, and it's smart. Even if it's smart, even if anything could be smart, I don't, I don't. What time can be? To have to take time, as I had to, or time, or having time. Any that which could have, of a have to, having time, or having that time was taken. I had to have time. It's just nothing. So a time could be. I wanted one time to say, which also time. This is a time that's not so also. 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 You need time. Also. Smart statement. Can you come from with a statement would be wise, smart. So, but with this is I regard for now is just why would smart be out with statements? Because it always could be something I said too. So, and what also happens, it's a bet I have out. Know that smart, it's smart. It's a smart bet. I do understand that that's the bet I have. That I sleep in. I do like to be positioned for me to have it. That is smart for it to be there. And as well, that's the type of nice bet that can't be so. Well, while it's there, happening to be, tempting me to go where it's there to be. For me to be resting, to have a rest that can be, for me to take the rest of this direction. It's a peaceful time for me to talk what it is I would have. Because I had times I would say, but I'm going to continue to say. So at this point in time, it's the time I have to accept where I want to and take where it is I'm going to talk back to where it could be so I can say what I want now. And when I wanted to say these things I could call what I want to talk to make them all can become a moment from now I want to stop to continue. So, all right, and then I could begin to talk by myself that it can be nice here. For an issue of a time that can be spoken with this time is this is rightfully to be it. It's right to be. Well, I can too say and then because I myself have said this to be as if it's cool now. For this time, it's just to individualize the time and then to have time with sleep that could be as while it is I'm going to sleep. It's just a regarded time that's a nice day. And this is a nice time. And so I have, and I will not talk about what the fuck is happening to do. Because of today, make the issue for what I spoke about become what it is I'm going to continue to speak about. While it is, I would also like to talk to a reason that I would talk about what it is going to be that I also want to, and I'm going to do. I don't got to say it, but that's smart about now, and it is smart that can be smart. But that's nice too. But what it is I continue to have that's smart to be about. So I was thinking about these things I thought about, and it's cool to think about it. So as time continues, as I speak, I want to say what I had to say while it is I can speak about these things I talk with regards to my momentum to speak, especially with regards to a time I think is Jesus. While I say what this can be for me as I sleep, as I take time to recall what it is I want to eat. I'm going to bring it to where it is that I spoke without, but I'm going to also say what it is I have. I went and I know of places that do exist. At this point in time, I want to say in Jesus' name, amen. It's going to be me here that I'm going to continue with the reasons that I regard what it is I had to make these times very right for very real realities that can't individualize the things I would not expect to worry with regards to the had that can be out with regards to a time that can be a smarter time with this. That these are rights for reasons that people have conditions they have that they inundate that can't be of a time that can take too many times of accommodating time to just momentalize it. A time I can not continue to calculate a time to momentalize a year. It's just not conditioning of an anniversary of a time to see others suggested statements to calculate a statement with time that I have. So at this point in time, it's just the time that I need, and it'll be with a warm regarded time that I can do with regards to that I feel correct. Though at that point in time will be what it is that happens, and I would have had something smart to do. They can't be smart. But this is a rendition of the position I have to fundamentalize the priority of the opportunity of what it is I can't escape for this position. It's the time that I want to speak about that can bring what I taught with regards to make a decision so fast it just made me continue to make a decision that was right, to make a decision so correct. It was smart to make it. So even as I made it, it was nice for the decision. So I just had, reasons related to what it is I had to come that can't look so new to the position I faced. It could be located with what it is I found. So I do know what I see. But I have, for me, it's not for anybody who can know. So if anybody smart saw something, it would have been something that somebody saw that was not going to be right for now. But to remember what it could be for that which was right for now. It was a time I had to, and what I recall to is bring Sunday to what it is. But I mean, that being said, it's just, so I mean, this is all right. The light, it was special, but at this point in time, it made a time to consider what it was that I was motivated by. I was continuing to allow the momentum of that which occurred to trap, me into this. Now it's a nice kitchen when you turn the lights on, but I felt as though to approach the realities that surround me with regards to a time. It's always food here. It's always time and this and that and that. But it's also television and things on TV and things you watch. And the news is primarily what I watch and things like that. So it comes to be the destination that. So it's just, a collection of things that become at the same position, to give me, what it is I have while it is I go to sleep and what it is I have when I do go to sleep, when I wake up, while I'm awake. Even there was a time when it was I located a statement that I even made what regarded is a time you speak with a time you could address a statement collected with regards to a position that just makes someone so audacity with a terrific time and just make nothing so time. For my improved time mistake, it didn't move me to make a time. So by the time I want to move around here so smart, to be so fast, to be so cool, to be so exotic, is this the time I like not to see. What happens is about me sleeping, they ain't waking up like Paddington Bears or something. So even with regards to that, it's speciologically speciated with raw time to say, well, this can't stop. to beat up the issue while I talk, even if it was me who saw positions what it is that I wanted not to say. I'm going to talk about what I like by not talking what it is I could do. At this point in time, where I did what I did, I'm very pleased with where I had to begin where I felt as though it was strong for my time in it to be, in it to be, that is strong to be at this time. To mention what it is I said by speaking, it's a lot of times I said what I could do while I was speaking. At this point in time, how what it is I know about now to be a position that I also have to make with regards to the time I have just different types of statements to a court with regards to that which I can have to have occurred with just don't make it a time and just So what's going to happen is that I want to introduce the time to actualize the time that will make that it's occurrence of what it is I would have to also say. But I mean, factually, it's just something I speak with regards to times that, motivate what it is I have. So, I mean, at that day, and as if it occurs, I mean, it'll be another time. That happens. But I mean, So, I mean, that happens to be smart of the time that I have to moment the, I don't know. All right, but based on these things, what is this other thing I said? I speak or as I talk. That so I like would be that. And yeah. So all right. You gotta by this time, as it is, it's rendered, you gotta wrap stuff up. Because based on the different, momentums that you go through and the instrument that happens with regards how it is your phone becomes, located. It's always, a locatable time while it's located into, what happens to be, the position it holds. It's always with regards to a time I just and then that can be. But I don't feel comfortable with that. It could be something that is just allocated by way of a preservation of an actual audacity that's just kind of with the actual lack of time what smart could be, but just a smarter introduction of a state issue that can't be so wrongful reasons. But else other than that, that's that. So based on these things, I had to continue while I sit here. I want to locate this taste, this time to motivate what it is I have here. Make no vacating statement. A lot of red paperwork that can continue to be read. That just makes a right statement, a correct statement for a direction for what I have to say about the position held by the audacity of the time held and the entire momentum of the acted out reality based on time collected to it's anyway it is. But I don't want to imitate this location. It's just that I had to position things with regards to realities that made it more to me fondle with something like that. It's just, I mean, to have that occur. You know, I mean, even while it could be raining while it wasn't raining when it was, and that's nice. But rain is here that makes it simple, it makes it cool, it makes it realistic. So I myself have a time. I want to make it realistic and make it this that which comes to be of a position I have to realistically introduce me to what it is that has a position I have to identify by way of what it is that happens to continue to be. All right, well, as it is now, we're just going to ball out here and then come from Broadway and places I do see. It's just strong as a nice time, and as it is that it occurred with regards to the stated facts, the condition with regards to this, which is a time of the. So it's basically a fact based on time. I'm just going to check out this motherfucker. I can't even explain based on the time I took to just. All right, well. Smart dancer.